And we're live. Hey guys, hey everybody. Thanks for your patience. Tony just came out of a massive storm, those big Florida storms we were just chatting beforehand. I love Florida storms because they come in super hard, but they leave very quickly. But you do have to be ready for them. Tony just came out of a massive storm, those big Florida storms we were just chatting beforehand. So yeah, we've got Stu, Patty, Valerie, Susan, Roxanne, Lori, Finn, Coach Kathy, Erica, William. Hey all, Karen. Hey guys, thanks for joining us today. And I'm sure I'll get asked about it, so I'll just go ahead and address it. I'm not really sure what this is on my. I think it's poison ivy. Feels like poison ivy. It had that like kind of itchiness to it, and it was oozing a little bit. So that to me is poison ivy. But this is the first time I've gotten it in Mexico, so fun experience. I'm not really sure what this is on my. I think it's poison ivy. Feels like poison ivy. I have that like kind of itchy. Tony, we're getting a little bit of feedback coming through on your end. I don't know if you can mute the YouTube video or something.
Is that echoing coming from my end?
Yes.
Then what can I do?
Do you have a YouTube video open somewhere?
No, not that I know of, but let me.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like Zoom because.
Yeah, I got it. Is it gone now?
Yes, perfect.
Okay. That was a simple solution.
Yeah, easy enough. Okay. So did you have anything to address, Tony, or did you want to jump right in?
Yeah, well, we can jump right in a way, because for the people who have no clue who I am, I have been studying with Dr. Morse for a few years. I became a practitioner with him and learned all his teachings. I wish I knew as much as he does, but that's going to take me a few more years, I think, to be able to explain it the way he can. And always, if you want real details, and I haven't addressed them, then please go to his channel, which you can actually find when you go to my channel from toniweel.com/videos. And it has a link to all his other videos, because I only place the shorter ones there with some really important topics. But usually his videos are 1 hour, 2 hour long. So, but they're good. They have so much information, and you learn so much from it. I learn every day from him. So that is my my little intro. I had a question about teeth from Patty, and she was using, and I had not answered this, or the Dr. Morse video I had sent her didn't answer it. It's there's always more to it than just having a problem with your teeth. Using baking soda definitely helps. Using herbs like hilal tea can help, but you have something really specific, and I don't know what that is, but yes, your teeth can get more sensitive. It's not really caused by the fruit, but the fruit does bring out the weaknesses in our body. So I would love to go over what could it, the details, what it could be with you. What other causes are there? Is do you have a clean, no, I should ask it differently. Did you work on your GI tract to clean it out? That would be one thing. And it's, it sounds a little strange that your mouth is actually connected to your GI tract. When I say this, I see a picture in front of me that I don't really want to see. God. Yeah. But yeah, let's see what we can figure out, and connect with me, and we go in other aspects of your health and what you've been doing so far.
Yeah, and just as we continue down this path, we do express detox in different ways, and so it can as Tony said, the teeth and the mouth, it's connected to all parts of our body, the GI tract, but each tooth we know is connected to a different region of the body, so it can express, and we can have sensitivities, and the breath can be affected, and all sorts of different things just through this purification process. But again, just to reiterate, there's nothing that you can do to harm yourself with fruit. So if you stay on the fruit, you might go through some uncomfortable situations or some adjustments that need to happen, but you're ultimately moving in the right direction to get to that space of absolute health. So just trust that, trust the process, trust the plan, and you'll get to that space. So I
It's
just want
good
to throw
that
that in
you
there.
remind me of that. Your teeth are connected to other parts in your body.
Mhm.
I have this beautiful chart that exactly says which teeth is connected to which part of the body. This is
Amazing.
not something that Dr. Morse trained us in, but I thought it was very interesting,
Yeah.
and I should dig it up and send it to you.
Yeah, that would be great. That would be great to have, because I know that's why they attack our teeth with these root canals and things of that nature, because it's so devastating to the rest of our body when they affect our teeth. And so that's why.
Well,
There's-
I was only 18 years old, and no, 19, right after I gave birth to my daughter, and I found that I had gallstones.
Mm,
So at 19, they took out my gallbladder and 56 tiny gallstones, and I had a bad tooth. And that was all at the same time. And it was last year I found out that that tooth was related to the gallbladder. Amazing.
wow.
I lost that tooth too.
Yeah.
I lost my gallbladder, but I lost that tooth also.
Wow. Yeah, there you have it.
So for all these years of my life, I had no clue about that. But
Hmm.
it's like maybe there to me it feels like there is a truth to it. It makes sense.
Yeah, it really does. It really does.
So the next question was explain by B lady. Explain blood pressure as related to kidney or adrenal stagnation. Will all fruit diet correct if high? Yes, it corrects it absolutely.
Mm,
It is kidneys are often weak if your blood pressure is 120/60, it's perfect. That is what it needs to be. Then your kidneys are fine and your adrenals are fine. If that number is higher or lower, it doesn't really matter. You have a problem with a kidney. And so the first thing is get your kidneys filtering. It's always the key. It's like I keep saying this, but it's so important. And fruit will absolutely do this. And it will do it actually really fast. It's only a few weeks and you're already, you're past that problem. And the blood pressure problem, your kidneys filtering, for some it can take longer, for others it goes fast. And there are ways to get your kidneys filtering. It's not just the fruit, it is dry fasting. Actually, you can also use what is that called, these oil packs.
mm.
um, I forgot the word for it, but that helps the kidneys to open up. There are teas, there are herbs that help the kidneys. And if it helps the kidneys, it helps your blood pressure.
Mhm.
Anything to add to it, Justin?
Well, I know rebounding helps with getting the lymph to filter, get
Now
things
it
moving.
helps with the lymph to move.
Hmm.
What you mentioned last week about even be able to do it on the grass.
Hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
So there's another thing, and then yeah, we talked about dry brushing as well. It's another good way.
Yeah.
And I've done a little research into dry brushing, and I know they always say to brush towards the heart. So I
Nope.
just want to reiterate that if you do dry brushing, you're always brush stroking towards your heart from whatever direction. I don't
Yeah.
know exactly why, but that's what they say.
You dry brush towards the lymph nodes,
Hmm.
not towards the heart. That's
Okay.
what you said, right?
I said I've always heard towards the heart, but that makes
No,
sense towards
no.
the lymph nodes. Okay.
It goes towards the lymph nodes. I have two videos on my channel. and both explain it really, really well. And there's also yeah, these are the two most important videos that just show you how to do it, but it's definitely not going towards the heart. We keep learning every day. I didn't know that until, a year ago.
Yeah, that's great to know.
Another thing is from Veronica. Let me see. What do you think about taking calcium for pre-menopausal women? It's a pain hearing family members and friends saying that fruits and veggies are not enough. What about other regular recommended supplements like magnesium? Well, the problem is don't listen to your friends because they don't know what you already know. You already know, Veronica, that you need the fruits and the veggies. And you can tell your family actually that orange juice has more calcium than milk. And nettle, a regular herb, you can use it as a tea, has a lot of calcium. Magnesium, it's the same thing. You find that in your fruit, and your body knows what to do with it. And don't listen to your family with this. It's there is a $40 billion industry that keeps telling us that we need all kinds of supplements. And then I started to wonder is how the heck did we get as a human race where we are today without all these supplements? We don't need them. I can see that can be a problem at times when you come from a really bad diet. And then still the fruit will help you get over it. So if you eat a lot of fruit and you absorb, and so it means your parathyroid is working correctly, then you will have no problem. And if your parathyroid is not working correctly, that means that we got to work on that. I don't know if that answers your question, but we always say absolutely no to supplements, any supplements. And about the calcium, I have a little story about that. 8 years ago, I broke my femur near the hip ball. So that meant that now I have metal in my body with half a metal hip because they couldn't fix it otherwise. And I wondered why that happened. Only after it happened, I learned what was going on. Because I didn't drink milk at all, because I hated it. I was told I needed to always supplement with calcium. So I did. Calcium, magnesium, more calcium, magnesium, my whole life, quite a few years. Well, my bones became so brittle that I didn't even fall, and the bone broke. I just twisted my leg, that was all.
Wow.
And it hurts.
That's what's so devious about it. Is like not only does calcium not help your bones, but it makes them way worse. It gives this like, yeah, I mean, it's the same with fluoride and teeth. It gives this appearance of bone density because it actually fills the pores with these minerals. And so from an X-rays perspective, it looks like the bones are stronger. But if you know how bones need to function, they're porous because they need to be somewhat spongy so that they're more flexible. And so when you fill the bones with all of this junk, this calcium or fluoride or whatever, these minerals, they become very brittle because they can't operate as they're intended to with these pores to act as like these sort of cushiony sponges.
Well, we have another problem, and that is the high acidity of our bodies, and calcium wants to take care of that in the body, so it goes out of the bones. And so high acidity is definitely, and I was highly acidic, otherwise I wouldn't have, the arthritis that I did have. So it all comes back to the same thing, you need to alkaline your body.
Right.
And alkalining your body, you do that with, and not with alkaline water, because I get a lot of questions about that. Oh, I just take high alkaline water and that fixes the body. No, it doesn't. your body needs to be in balance, and water needs to be, it's okay if it's a little on the alkaline side, but definitely not as high as what people do with the Kangen water. And I did it. I even did it. I bought, high alkaline water, 9.5. I thought I was doing a good thing. Well, no, it's not a good thing.
Yeah. Well, and you can experience temporary boosting with alkaline water if you are very acidic, because you kind of artificially balance your body with this water. But long term, you're not addressing the issue, and you can get your body in a bad habit where it's not digesting things properly, and yeah, it's just not a good idea. And for the most part, they're just a waste of money. Like, it's a waste of money to buy these super expensive machines and to buy this alkaline water when we have to be addressing the root cause. Like, why is your body acidic? And it's because you eat acidic food, acidizing food.
Yeah, I think that's what I think is a problem is that when you think that alkaline water can help, but you still stay on the same diet
Right.
that made you sick or acidic in the first place,
Mhm.
that's not, I can't see how that can ever work.
Right.
The next question was about thyroid healing. And I had a lifelong thyroid problem. Yeah, I think I have everything that everybody else has too.
That's why you're so good. Been through it all.
Oh gosh, but I'm really stubborn. So the only time I took a thyroid medication was when I was 17. And since then it was like, no, this is not for me.
Mm.
And I had a goiter, and I had a cyst, a modular, they call that a modular cyst on the thyroid. So it was very visible. It was like big orange size, ugly. But when I went on and I don't go to doctors, that's that my stubbornness. I don't think they can help me anyway. I had them stick a needle in it one time to get all the fluids out, and it was right back. And I didn't know what was going on. They didn't know why. Now I know. It's so body is so acidic, lymph cannot go anywhere. So that is what happens.
Mm.
That's what happens when you have your lymph nodes getting really large or painful. It's stagnated lymph. It can't go anywhere. So that you go back to the kidneys. But when I started on all raw, and I can't even say it was mostly fruit, but slowly it started to disappear. And can I say that my thyroid is healed? I don't have the symptoms, not any, but I'm just not going to a doctor to be tested.
Mm.
And we don't use, you can use not supplements. You never use supplements, but there are herbal formulas that can help if you have hypothyroid, not hyper. If you have hypothyroid, yes, it can help. And I see Barbara mentioned she also has a pacemaker implanted. My gosh, girl, you went through the ringer. It's and I hope that I don't have any information about that, how that works, and how it would work to get it removed. I would have to look. I have to dig into that to find out what exactly is going to happen. And for me, being a previous heart patient, 2 heart attacks, and no medication. I did it with heart drops. Actually, it was back then heart drops from Dr. Schulze. It's nothing more than just hawthorn. It's an herb, and garlic and cayenne. Mm. And so the second heart attack, I was home alone, and I just took that stuff every 10 minutes for an hour, and it went away. Wow. So I'm not suggesting anyone does the same thing as I do. But I was just very sure I was not going into the hospital again and do all these things. So it was either that or I wasn't going to be here anymore. And it worked. And it was supposed to work. And the more you learn about your body and the more you really connect with what's going on in your body, it will all become easier, and you're not that afraid if if you have a pain or some symptom, as long as you know that you give your body the fuel that it needs. And that is just simple, the fruits, some veggies, some herbs in your, it should work. But it won't work when you add, oils and grains and cooked food. And so that is, that's the toughest part, to stay away from all of that.
Yeah.
And
Well,
Barbara, I did send you info by email if you hear this. There was a question, and I don't know if I addressed that. It was about rheumatoid arthritis, and that it is not the same as what is it called? Orthoarthritis, osteoarthritis. I'm sorry. When it comes to it, it's all the same. There are no diseases. There are symptoms, and there are thousands of names to give those symptoms, and it all comes back to high acidity in the body. So the step is always it's always the same. This was I've been in contact with Sarah, so if Sarah was listening, then we can talk about that more. There was an interesting question from a Colleen, not Colleen in Mexico. No, don't think she's there. And it is about Melipona honey. Have you ever heard about that?
I haven't. Yeah, I saw that one too, and I had never heard of that term before.
Yeah, I know the what is it? Manuka honey.
Yeah, Manuka honey.
And when I looked it up, Melipona honey eye drops, I couldn't, things like the Manuka honey came up. So I don't know if they're safe to use, but we do have eye drops, a formula that you can actually take internal, and you can do, use it for eye washes. We use it for cataracts, glaucoma. So next question was, so I can't really give an answer if those eye drops are safe. I don't know. Would you put honey in your eye, honey drop?
I feel like it's a pretty gentle thing if I maybe mix it with water and try it a little bit first.
Yeah, you can put it on an open wound, and it says it's very healing, burn wounds and such.
What's your thought of I've heard castor oil is great for eyes as well.
Yes, I have been using that. And that was actually castor oil. Thank you for reminding me of that. That was actually what I was looking for the
the oil packs.
Oil packs on the kidneys.
So can you explain that? Like, what do you mean by oil packs on the kidneys? Like
you put the oil on a warm cloth, and you put it on the spot where it hurts or what needs help. And I don't know how it works, but everybody always says, you have gallbladder problems, put it there. You have problems with your thyroid, put an oil pack on there. That castor oil, I mean, you don't want to take it internally, really.
Right.
Because it really works tough on your GI tract. But it's been used a lot. And I have used it in my eyes. You don't feel it. So I did it before going to bed, but the stuff is very sticky. So when I'm alone, I have to do it myself. It's like, no.
Good to know.
But yeah, you can use that. She also had problems also from eating fruit and drinking juice. I'm now very tired and have lots of cramping in my hands and feet. You may want to look at how much are you eating and drinking, how much liquid you get in, because often cramping is from dehydration. And with your vision could be the same. Getting back to that if you do only juice, what I do, I can only say what I do, is I drink about 3 liters of fruit juice, and in between about 1 liter of water. just to keep the GI tract, everything going. And for me, that is enough, and I'm not dehydrated. You may need a little bit less, but not too much less. So if you eat only, like 2 bowls of fruit and maybe 1 liter of juice and not feeling thirsty, I don't think you get enough. I think you need to be at least close to that 3 liters. So that was and yeah, cramping is painful, but look at that first, and I will send you, I will dig in this more and send you some more information that explains it with the dehydration.
Yeah, fruit especially is very hydrating. So if the fruit's the answer to it all, but fruit is a wonderful way, especially fruit juice, to rehydrate the body.
Yeah, I have a chart. Yeah, I have charts of everything nowadays. I have a chart with how much liquid is in each fruit. What are the most hydrating fruits, and I was so surprised to see on that list actually banana. I never realized how much water, if you can call it that, was in a banana.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm getting a blue banana tree. They call that a vanilla banana.
Oh, I've heard such good things about those, and they're apparently pretty hardy too. Like they grow very well, and they can sustain a little bit cooler climates too.
Well, it's in
Yeah.
Central Florida. It doesn't really get cool here,
Yeah.
but I have to wait 14 months before it starts
Mm.
having fruits.
Well, I'll check back then.
It will be exciting. It's the same thing. Next year, summer, I'm supposed to have, I have all these fruit trees now. I've all in big pots. And because I have a tiny yard, and I had this rubber tree. And it was a rubber tree, like a plant that you can even have inside the house. And it was always in a pot. And then we thought it was a good idea to put it in the ground. Well, it grew like it was a weed. Now I know there are no weeds, but just to say how fast it was growing, it was unbelievable. It was twice the height of the house. The roots were going everywhere, under the house, water pipes, under the neighbor's carport, driveway. So it had to go. Do you think that we can get rid of those roots? Nobody can dig them out. And this was a rubber tree that all in all, it had all grown together in all these roots. It was like 5 feet, 6 feet in diameter, that big. And I had 2 of them. Yeah, well, they were almost taking over the house, so they're gone now. I apologized, but they had to go.
Yeah, sometimes you got to take matters into our own hands. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm always like, if I have my 5 acres somewhere and I have a spot where I can plant one and just let it grow, I want to see how it's doing, how big it gets. It's such a beautiful, beautiful tree. But it doesn't like the cold. Not even 32 degrees. That's too cold, and it loses all the leaves. So we found ourselves every week like picking up all the leaves. Took a day. It was crazy. It was really crazy. The next question is about the type D diagnosis from Cody. I'm actually surprised that as an adult you get a diagnosis of type 1, because that is rather unusual. The same with type 2. It is type 1 is different, but it can still heal. And the way you heal is it's always the same. And I see you already have been fully raw since March 21st. Well, that's awesome. And mostly fruit. It's absolutely great. He wants to know how he can go about this as efficiently as possible. And this is nice. He says, I know that my diagnosis was a great gift from God and not a grand curse I must endure. I just am here to show the way that the impossible is fully and wholly possible when one commits themselves to seeing it through in my overcoming of this dis-ease I currently deal with day to day. Amazing. That's the way to look at it.
Yeah. That's great.
Yeah. I learned that everything in our lives happens for a reason. And sometimes you're like, yeah, you can't figure out why. And it's like, just let it flow, let it happen. You know, if it's important for you to know the reason, then you will know. For me, it actually clicked why I was so sick for 8 years and it led me to what I'm doing now. And, I love it. I love talking with people, getting to the point of what needs to be done, and not to worry about all these labels that the medical industry absolutely loves to give us. And we are getting so strong if we can get away from it, and then we will really be, people of healing ourselves, understanding what's going on. It's beautiful.
It really is. Really is.
Another question was, and I don't have, oh yeah, voila, was about granuloma annular. I had not heard of it, so I looked it up and I found that it can come from animal or insect bites, infections like hepatitis or vaccinations or sun exposure or minor skin injuries. And if it is really, really bad, it can be associated with diabetes or thyroid disease. This is a medical website who explains this. What I read here, actually, the only thing that I see here is high acidity, and it needs to come out one way or another, and it's using your skin. I'm pretty sure that your kidneys are not filtering. So it uses your skin as the third kidney to just come out, show up, and tells you that you really need to take action and control over your health. Oh, they also called it chronic granuloma annular.
Yeah, I've never heard of that.
It is so sad that's, yeah. I don't know what to say about it. Oh, spike proteins.
Oh yeah, that's one topic.
Okay. I don't know if that gets us blocked from YouTube. I don't know.
I mean, I have never worried about saying anything on my channel, and
Oh, okay, good. Well, then I don't. It's your channel.
Yeah.
I don't believe in the virus as it is, and I don't believe in spike proteins either. It is a word we had never ever heard before, so that is just something that is made up now. And then another thing comes up. It's like, yeah, you can have pine, and I don't know. I don't know. I don't believe in it. The only thing, and I apologize if I keep going back to the same thing over and over. I can see where herbs definitely can help, but if you do not address your diet, then nothing really helps. If you are on, I have this what is it, opinion that if you are on all fruits, that you don't need to worry about any of these things. But I have to admit that there can be frequencies. I mean, they have seen really, really weird things with these vaccinations and the results and people dying from it. And we don't know what's being put in the body. And we already know if we don't take supplements, why in the world would we take, vaccinations? I wouldn't. And I cannot say that what is it? What was the plant? Oh, the pine, sorry. And what sort of pine it would be. I have absolutely no idea. This whole pine thing came out of the blue because of it contained shikimic acid. Have you heard of that?
I haven't. No.
All pine contains shikimic acid, and I have no idea what it would do. And not believing in spike proteins and not even having a clue what it would be. It's the same as, let us say, yeah, you can get a virus because of a drop floating in the air and that has the virus on it. It's impossible. And that has been proven by many, many, many doctors. So I don't know what to say about the spike protein other than do whatever you need to be healthy and be strong, and don't worry about it.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, and
it's
there are, because he also mentions water-based via teas, oil-based through nasal application, alcohol-based tinctures. Are there different extraction methods to extract different substances of the plants? Well, alcohol is always the best one to extract the substances of the plants. But you don't extract just one particular part of the plant, because then you go into isolated chemistry, and that doesn't make sense. I always wonder, like, are we supposed to use pine? I don't know, from a pine tree, pine needles. To me, it doesn't make sense. So I'm sorry, Francis, that I cannot be of more help, actually. And this was already a question from Unit 2nd, so I missed that one.
yeah. Well, and just in general, we have no idea what they are injecting and what they are doing with stuff, but the solution, they can't do anything to us if we're alkaline. It's truly like this armor of God on a cellular level. When you're alkaline, it protects you from everything. Like there's no disease, there's no nanobots can't survive in an alkaline environment. It's just this, it's the simple solution to everything. We have to go back to the mother and we have to eat the fruit, and then you don't have to worry about everything else. And so I agree with Tony. I think a lot of that's just fear mongering, but even if it were true, the solution is still the same. Eat the fruit, get alkaline, and you become unaffected by those things. So just go
Yeah,
back to that.
even parasites cannot live in an alkaline body.
Hmm.
And everybody, worries so much about the parasites. But I do agree, we got to a point that everything in our body is so messed up that we need some herbal help to clean it out. But once you're healthy, there is no need for herbs anymore.
Right.
And there is no need for parasite treatment because you don't have parasites then. It's
Yep.
it's actually always pretty simple.
It always is. The truth is always very simple.
Okay, I'm done. I think I got through the questions I got for this week.
Oh, cool. Nice.
You have
Well, we can't,
any?
let's see. I think I had a couple in the chat. Let me scroll back through. So people were asking if the charts that you mentioned, if you could post them somewhere. As far as the water
Yeah,
content
I
and
am
the
working
teeth.
on a really simple website where I can list them all. So I will list it.
Hmm.
And that was the one for the teeth.
The teeth and the fruit hydration, the water content.
Okay, yeah. And I have another one, and that is about, and I just put that on my website as a PDF. That is actually about, I don't know if you ever heard of Arid with his, I don't know if he was Professor Arid, about the mucusless food.
Hmm.
Have you heard of him?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I haven't read the book, but I've heard
Okay.
of it.
Well, Dr. Spira, he was a student from Dr. Morse, and he's been doing it a little longer than I have. He put together all the mucus-less and the mucus-forming and the highly acidic foods.
Hmm.
And I reformatted that file so it's easier to read.
Oh, cool.
And whatever in the fonts, whatever I put in green, is actually all the foods, all the fruits and veggies that you can use on detoxing while you're detoxing, and other foods that you can use for transition and after detoxing. And then there is a long list of highly mucus forming foods. You don't want mucus in your body because that is acidic. So it really shows what is the foods that are acidic and highly mucus forming.
Well,
And I have that on, what should I think I have to put these links in an, what is it, Linktree or something, if I
mhm.
can't get them on my website right away. Does
Yeah,
it,
Linktree
I
is pretty
can
simple.
give you the link, but it is like toniweel.com/health/mucus less dash food.pdf.
So that's on your website right now.
Yeah, I put that on this
Beautiful.
morning. But I don't have a homepage where you just can click on all the links. I still have to make that, but I get sidetracked very easily.
Yeah, and my understanding of mucus is it's the body's response to acidosis. So it's trying to sort of dampen and coat the material that's causing the acid with the mucus. So it's like it's an indication that you're consuming things that are acid forming. But
Yep.
that's where the mucus comes from. Is that your understanding as well?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. And then let's see. Danny asks veggie juice, carrots, ginger, etc. So veggie juice is great. You know, it's just not going to be quite as good as fruit. Fruit juice is the best. But veggie juice is great too. When you juice veggies, you are taking away the sort of difficult to digest portions of the vegetables and making them easier to process. So it's great. And some, you know, if you want that, if I know carrots are often cheaper, so people will do carrot juice, and that's fantastic. But yeah, fruit's better. So it just depends on where you want to go.
Yeah, it's not really detoxing.
Mhm.
It's great to use once in a while, but if you want a deep detox, the carrots don't work. Or people with cancer. I remember from, oh, this is probably 40 years ago. It was a big thing in the Netherlands that if you had cancer, then there was a whole clinic there, and he put you on carrot juice only. It was carrots the whole day, carrots, more and more carrots,
Wow.
and people still died. So that didn't last long.
Yeah.
And actually, there are more cancer centers that recommend it, and it's not helping. We keep going back to the fruit thing. It's amazing.
Hmm.
I can only hope that at some point, people will really see it, the magic of fruit.
Well, that's what we're here for, to keep
Yeah.
spreading that word. Penny asks, how alkaline is alkaline? What level should our bodies be at for ultimate health? So I've always heard between um, like 7.3 and 7.6-ish is the good level of alkalinity, and it's really a balance. You know, you don't want to be super alkaline in your body, but you're not gonna become overly alkaline by eating too much fruit. You'd become overly alkaline by like drinking tons of baking soda or alkaline water all the time, or things of that nature. So so yeah, your body's going to find that natural balance by consuming the things that are alkalizing, and the only reason it stays in that alkaline state from eating the fruit is because it's so simple for the body to process that it doesn't go through this heat forming acidic causing process to have to get what it needs out of it. So it stays in that natural alkaline, slightly alkaline but balanced state. Does that sound about right, Tony?
About right. The alkalinity of blood is different than the alkalinity of lymph or urine or saliva.
Mm,
So, because the blood always has to be base. If you have high or low, then you die. That doesn't work for your blood. For your lymph, it doesn't. The urine needs to be slightly acidic until you healed. And then you will see it gets to the base too. And your saliva absolutely has to be alkaline, a little more than the base alkalinity. We had a discussion with somebody about drinking baking soda. Well, it's not really good for us to drink it because it messes up the alkaline balance in our stomach already. And if you do this for a long time, I can see where you want to do it on a short time, but never do it for a long time.
Mhm. Yeah, I'll do it every now and again if I drink too much, like lemon juice or lime juice. Sometimes I get a little indigestion or heartburn, and so that'll help balance out. And
Well, that is interesting.
immediately start to burp a lot because of the chemical reaction.
Yeah.
But but yeah, I wouldn't recommend doing it long term. Yeah, I don't know why that is because I'll get the same effects sometimes too with orange juice if I'm trying to do a consistent orange juice feast. Like if I go more than a couple days on just orange juice, I start to get heartburn from the oranges and citrus juices. So something with my body just doesn't agree with citrus for too long in a row. So I have to mix it up. Do you have any thoughts on that, Tony?
No, I haven't experienced it, but I have heard it from other people.
Hmm.
And I was just thinking, could it be because you haven't been on this journey for very long? If
Could
that would
be.
make a difference, that in the beginning you have it. Because I was when I started this really slow,
Mhm.
with I did eliminate all the what is it, the meat and eggs, dairy, out of my diet years ago. And then it was slowly the beans and the grains. So everything was kind of slow before I was fully raw and mostly fruit.
Mm.
So maybe I'm one of the lucky ones. I never had even detox symptoms.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'll keep revisiting it. I do love the idea of just, especially here in Mexico, when we can get abundance of oranges, just staying on orange juice. But after like I can do a few days consistently, and then I just get really like just doesn't appeal to me at all, and I get like indigestion from it, and so I have to change it to something else.
Yeah, there are a lot of other fruits.
Yeah, yeah. There's lots of things. Watermelon's great, so I usually go back to that.
Yeah, absolutely. I see here one that I don't know if I missed it, but it goes again about the vaccines. And it's the question was asked in a different way because he has two young daughters. This is from Kalen. Um, and it's about that suddenly beginning menstruating. And I cannot come up with why this would happen.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know either.
It's I don't stay away from people, and I feel like, I'm doing what I can to make my body healthy and stay healthy. And what you said, you have the armor of God around you, and I feel I cannot be hurt. But how can you tell that to if you have two young kids and they're not vaccinated, and all of a sudden they're not, they're very young and they're not even 10 and they start menstruating. I really don't know. This
Mm,
is it's sad, the things that are happening, and I can't even come up with an idea where it comes from. We've been told quite a few things, and to have your kids healthy, it's again all the fruit, raw veggies,
mhm,
clean eating to make them strong, so that they can fight off whatever comes at them.
mhm. Yep.
Isn't that the only thing that we can do, actually, when it comes to it?
Yeah, truly. Let's see. Um, John Behan says, any advice on detoxing from antidepressants? I've been on the fruits for a couple of months now, and I've been off antidepressants around 10 days now. It's for the first time in years, but I have odd. I don't know if you finished that thought. But yeah, I would just say just continue with it, and you are gonna feel quite a swing from coming off antidepressants and detoxing from that. So you just need to be mindful of what you have to do and mindful of the effects that you're going to experience. But just know that whatever you do go through is healing you. You're going through the right reasons. There's nothing to worry about. There's nothing you can harm yourself from being on the fruit. Um, but detox symptoms can get pretty intense. So just be mindful of what you're going to go through, and if you need to slow down on it, if you need to like eat more vegetables will help slow your detox a little bit. And yeah, just be mindful. Let's see. Susan asks, what do you know about eating lemon rinds? I mean, seems like to me that that's not something we're supposed to eat. Like, they don't taste very good. They're kind of bitter. And usually that's a good indication of what's designed for us. So I wouldn't, but I can't imagine it's horrible for you. They're often sprayed heavily, so you want to make sure to wash them really well. And I know, and you can make hydroxychloroquine or quinine with grapefruit and lemon peels. Um, but yeah, I don't have any more on that.
Yeah, they have a lot of oil in the rind too.
Hmm. Let's see. Is it okay? Oh, I missed it. Is it okay to eat vegetables on the side or just continue with fruit juice? So just people continue to ask, like, is it okay to do this? Is it okay to do that? Like, can I do this and can I do that? You can do whatever you want. You can do anything that you want in this reality. And we just experience the effects of what our choices are. So if you want to experience the highest level of growth, the purest form of food, it is the fruit. If you want to eat vegetables as well, that's going to be the next step down. So still great if they're raw. They're still fantastic. They're still wonderful, but they are not going to be as highly elevated as fruit. So it's all a choice. And then eventually, as we get past the fruit, you can look to more breath and taking in breath as a more primary source of fuel, and that's even better than consuming physical items because again, it's just less strain on our bodies. So it's all a spectrum. It's all stepping stones. It's all what do you want to achieve? How high do you want to go? Where are you at? So just honor the journey where you are and consume the things that you feel like you should and see what the effects are and just pay attention. Just pay attention to what we are consuming and just know the truth and know it, depending on where you want to go, this is what needs to happen.
And just make sure that you don't eat the fruit and the veggies together.
Yeah,
Eat
food
fruit at
combinations.
least 30 minutes to an hour before you eat the veggies.
Hmm.
And because of the way it digests. And if you want to eat fruit after, then put at least an hour and a half to 2 hours. But don't put
Yeah,
them together because it starts fermenting and you get problems in your GI tract or stomach even. It start working in my stomach. I just saw oh, I don't know. I think that was on the show you were on, Justin, about the food, and it looked delicious. But it was veggies and but it had pineapple in it.
mm,
I love it. I absolutely, my gosh, beans. What is it? Chili beans with bananas or pineapple,
hmm.
delicious. But my body didn't like it.
Mm,
So always try to, the only thing that you can actually, the fruit is the lemon. You can mix lemon with everything,
mm, that's
but
good to know.
try not to do that with the other fruits.
Yeah, that's good to know. Yeah, combinations is you're going to feel different ways of digesting things, and it's just not ideal. And like Tony said, the fermentation process is not good to go through in our body. Um,
We're not really meant to put all these things together, as
mhm,
delicious as it is. But that's why the mono fruit is so good for us.
mhm.
Just eating one thing at a time.
Yeah, and Saren asks, kind of on that same note about probiotics and making water kefir. So it's the same sort of thing. Um, we don't need those. Eh, they can provide temporary relief if we're in an acidic state and we don't have a good microbiome. We can introduce some probiotics that can temporarily relieve things, but if we're not addressing the root cause of why our microbiome is out of whack, which is from not eating the alkalizing food that we should be consuming, then we're not really addressing anything. So probiotics are not really like, to me, they're like a band-aid, but they're they don't help long term, and they shouldn't really be consumed long term.
Yeah, think again about the supplement industry.
Hmm.
We never needed them before. Why do we need them now? And it's heavily promoted. So at any time when something is as promoted as that, and proteins and a lot of other things, then you know that you don't need them. That is my radar always goes up if I see something heavily promoted and you need it, and every doctor and even naturopaths prescribe it. Like, no, you don't. Your body knows what to do,
Hmm.
giving it the right fuel.
Yep. Yep. It's simple. All right, Tony. Well, that's about an hour.
Yeah.
Did you have any closing comments for everyone?
No, well, closing comments. I didn't think of anything, but I wish everybody a very happy, healthy journey. And I think in the show notes is how you can reach me. I would love if you connect with me. You need to talk about your health, fill out a health questionnaire or a self-assessment form, and I'll get you going.
Beautiful. Yeah, Tony's such a gift to us, and she's always willing to serve, and that's the space that we need to be, is in that space of service. So yeah, we're here to support. We've got a lovely community that's here to support, so don't hesitate to reach out. You don't feel like you have to go on this alone. So this was another great little hour, and I look forward to doing these each week. So thank you, Tony, for your time. I appreciate
Well,
you.
thank
And
you, Justin.
yeah, yeah, no problem. All right. Love you, sister, and we'll talk to you soon.